All right, guys. Joe McDonough back here again, CagesidePress.com, joined by LFA debutee victory just a couple days ago, Canaan Kawaihae. Canaan, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing good. I just got back home to Hawaii. Excited to see all my families and people. Yeah.
And talk to me. This was your first fight since 2018, I believe, end of 2018, so December 2018. Um,
Yeah.
and just talk to me about getting back in the cage, the camp, and getting the victory.
Um, it was awesome. In the cage, it felt like I never left. It felt like I was always there. I felt comfortable in the warm up station. I felt comfortable in the environment. I felt comfortable in the ring. Um, the hardest part about doing everything, I would say, was the weight cut. It's been a minute,
Mhm.
and I started off a little bit heavy. I just came off a trip from Tennessee, so I was like, might take a trip, and then as soon as I get back, I get offered the fight. I'm like, whoa, better go check my weight. See? I was like, oh, wow, that's 40 pounds. It's almost 40 pounds to 145 again. So I was like, oh goodness, but everything worked out the way I wanted it to work out. I made the weight. I made under the weight. I made championship weight, so that was pretty cool about it. The training, that my camp felt amazing. Yeah, I had a hard camp back home, and I got to finish the rest of my camp up at Extreme, and I learned some different things. I met some new people, some awesome people. So all around, it was a great camp. It worked out perfect. The results tell. So it was great. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. And that's quite the timing there after a trip and make a 40 pound weight cut over camp. But you've performed them under some big lights before. You performed at Bellator your last time out. But LFA, UFC Fight Pass, essentially a feeding frenzy for the UFC over there in LFA. Talking about competing for this promotion and what it meant to get this big win under the LFA lights.
Felt good. It felt really, really good. To just walk in there and practice the game plan we practice and just go out there and do exactly what we practice. We wanted to put some punches in his face. We wanted to just put the pressure on him, get him moving backwards. And we knew sooner or later he would take a sloppy, a desperate sloppy shot. But we didn't expect it to be, 15 seconds into the first round. But we knew he was going to do it sooner or later, so we were ready for it. And he took it. He fell for the bait, and we secured the finish. And I was talking to my manager, Jason House, and he was telling me that Sean Shelby was watching it with him. So, that makes it extra exciting. It's like, it's like, it was perfect. It was perfect.
Yeah.
I got a quick victory against a very, very, top-notch opponent in front of the UFC matchmaker. So hopefully, we just stay ready, and hopefully we get an offer. If we don't get the offer, then hopefully we get the offer for the LFA title, which will be another great win under my belt if I can.
Absolutely, and can't get much better than getting that win right in front of the UFC matchmaker Sean Shelby. You had spoke about competing, having your own camp back in Hawaii, but also coming back and having a camp at Extreme Couture. We know how great Extreme Couture has been. Eric Nixick, one of the best minds in the game. Talk to me about kind of the new stuff you learned at Extreme Couture and performing with Eric Nixick in the team over there.
um, we so right off the bat, I went for a calf kick, and I think the week before, Eric was showing a calf kick. So you know that worked right into plan, especially since Jake Childers was a southpaw as well. It worked right into it.
Yeah.
The perfect learning for the perfect opponent, because most of my opponents are all orthodox. So to learn something like that and be able to use it in the fight was amazing. It was a blessing. It was a huge blessing. So you know, then we had Jake Shields over there teaching me some cool stuff, and then we also went to Venom with Renato Canuto and Raquel Paualuhi. and Andy Varela was there, and he taught us some cool ways to finish some chokes as well. So that was the finishing move. So it all helped out. So this Vegas trip was a blessing. Everything worked as a pattern, and even though I had to spend a month away from my family, it was well worth it. I'm back home with my family. Unfortunately, I got to do a 10-day quarantine in Hawaii, so can't leave home. But
yeah,
beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. If there's a place to do a quarantine, I'd say Hawaii is one of them. One of them. You had the Contender Series, lost to Chase Hooper. Contender Series is coming back. We're June, July, whatever. Like you said, Sean Shelby was watching closely. Can't put on much better of a performance than that. Is Contender Series the option this summer? I mean, I'm assuming that's the goal.
I mean, I'd rather get pulled in right away, or be a last second, a last not a last, but
late replacement.
A replacement. I'd rather be a replacement to get straight into it. But if Contenders is the way, then it is. But the thing about Contenders is, I feel like you gotta perform, and you gotta be extraordinary in that fight to get a contract. You gotta be more aggressive. You gotta be more out of your normal game.
Yeah.
And but if the opportunity shows up, we take it. I think we'll take it. I don't see why we wouldn't. But at this point, I think I could just get pulled in. Hopefully, that's what I believe. That we can just take a replacement fight, or even get pulled into the UFC, or just fight for the title and then get into the UFC. I feel like Contenders is cool, but I believe that we could get in there a faster route, an easier route.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, I'm open-minded to it. Yeah.
And like you just said, you've got a plethora of options. We mentioned Contender Series, mentioned a late replacement, short notice UFC, even just getting signed by the UFC. LFA title. Is there a certain timeline in the sense of waiting for that UFC call or Contender Series or whatever, where you just kind of go back to LFA and say, I want to get back in there?
Yeah. I do have a time limit. I want to do it quick. I wanna get into the big league. I want to join the big dogs. I believe I'm a big dog too, and I belong in there with them. Like there is good fighters not inside the UFC, but I just believe I'm on top of a different level from that separate UFC level from good fighters, and I think I'm at that level already. So if I got to get keep this keep this streak going until I get put in, then so it'll be. But I believe I should be in there before the year ends. Like if I'm not in there before the year ends, I'm gonna be a little disappointed in myself. That means I didn't work hard enough. That means I didn't perform. But I believe I should be in here. Hopefully by, like you said, summer. If Contender Series has to be an option, it has to be a route, then we can take it. But I believe we can do it a different way.
And through all of this talking to you, I mean, like you said, this is your first fight since end of 2018, so really 2019. But you're only 23 years old. I mean, that is wild. And do you feel like you've even hit your prime yet, or just hitting it?
No ways. I think we still got some ways to go. We still got some ways to learn. I feel like I'm still super young, so I don't believe I'm even close to my prime yet. I thought I was in my prime a couple of years ago, and then I look back at myself like, dang, I surpassed myself by a long shot. So I was like, wow, I feel like the bars just keep raising, and I keep growing. So I'm not planning on stop growing either. So I believe one day I can look back at this day, at that performance, and go, wow, that was what I thought was good or something.
Yeah. And it seems like nothing. Last one for me here, Canaan. It seems that with Hawaiian fighters, there is such a sense of pride and just, I mean, you look at Max Holloway, BJ Penn, all these different fighters through the UFC ranks, champions, Bellator, all over the world. To be possibly the next big Hawaiian fighter, what would that mean to you?
I mean, it would mean a lot, but like BJ Penn and Max Holloway, they already opened that door for us. They they opened the UFC door for us. They opened, and then we got Christian Lee, who opened the ONE FC door for us. You got Ben Wilhelm fighting this weekend. I I believe that as we, if I am the next best thing in Hawaii, I didn't even have to say that. People are saying that, so that's a pretty cool thing here too. But I believe as I rise, Hawaii will rise with us. So, if people look up to me like that, then hey, that's awesome. But I just want to raise the standards. I want to help Hawaii. Hawaii is such a little, it's a little dot on top of the world map that we all stick together really strong. So if I can rise up to be the something big, I want to help the other Hawaiians raise up with me. I want to help them climb the mountain, help them reach the top with me. That would be really cool. So I feel like that's the Hawaiian pride, but it's not. I don't know if it's pride. I just feel like it's the Hawaiian, just Hawaii helping out Hawaii, basically.
Mm-hmm. And I look forward to watching that as hopefully we see you in the UFC this summer, Contender Series, LFA title, whatever it is. I look forward to what's next for you. Canaan, thank you very much for the time.
Thank you.